Hello. Now, I should probably take this moment to acknowledge that there are certain styles of storytelling that I should probably bear in mind as I press on. Even in terms of, character and which styles of storytelling put more emphasis on them and don't, and in certain circumstances characters can, just be used as more of... I will unplug you! Because you're pissing me off! See that outlet? Right in the phone! Start the review! This is Carl. This is Carl's childhood hero.
Adventure is out there!
This is Ellie.
Only explorers get in here. Yeah.
Except unlike Carl, who's all shy and timid, Ellie is super outgoing with big dreams for her future.
Charles Muntz. I'm going where he's going. Paradise Falls. I'm gonna move my clubhouse there and park it right next to the falls. Only, I just don't know how I'm gonna get to Paradise Falls.
Captain, the out-of-character light is flashing. Probably a false alarm, but keep an eye on it.
That's it! You can take us there in a blimp!
Oh god, the light's back. I'm going where he's going, but she didn't think to go in a blimp?
Swear you'll take us! Cross your heart! Good, you promised. No backing out.
Oh, well that's why it stands out. We had to manipulate her just enough to make a promise! The wording of this...
You can take us there in a blimp!
You can take us there? Why? Why not we can go in a blimp? That sounds way more fun! She's so spirited and imaginative and determined, yet she suddenly hinges her dream on this kid she just met providing it for her? It's weird. And I get what it's setting up, but actually... That's there so we don't question why Ellie didn't make this happen herself, isn't it? Lame! Promises suck! Why? Because Carl wanting to do this isn't enough? Tired of trying to justify your character's motivations? Just use promises! Anyway, so Ellie dies without fulfilling her childhood dream, and it's very sad. Oh, yes, everyone cry! Are we done?
You're a heartless monster!
Well, if you'd all shut up, I'd actually... I'm sorry, this montage bugs me. They look like bland CGI dolls living out a synthetic, romanticized life, and compared to the previous scenes, it looks artificial. Plus, how can we know what the relationship is? We don't even know Carl yet. He's said one word.
No!
Sorry, 2 words. Why is it we never get to see Carl cry? A great deal of effort has been put into making us cry. Carl's the one that should be crying. Yes, I'm complaining that the character is not sad enough. Fine, okay. How does Carl feel? Bored, grumpy, and alone. Which is fine, but I want to know, is he feeling guilty? I want to say yes, but he's become such a stereotypical old man type that it's a little hard to tell. He looks like he's just mad because he's old and annoyed at the newfangled modern world. Oh.
Quite a sight, huh, Ellie?
He is. That's exactly what it is. because the newfangled modern world is trying to buy him out of the lot his house sits on.
What do you say to that?
Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
No.
I could.
No. No.
I could.
No.
Well, I gotta help you cross something. Then I'll be a senior wilderness explorer.
You ever heard of a snipe?
Snipe?
I'm elderly and infirm.
Me! I'll do it!
It's awfully crafty. You'd have to clap your hands 3 times.
So yeah, overall, Carl's actually pretty likable. Really no complaints.
Hey!
Let me take care of that for you.
Get away from our mailbox!
All stations prepared for meaningless cruelty! What? No!
Sir,
No! Don't do anything!
Ow! Oh.
Psychotic. I don't know why I'm surprised. Am I honestly surprised? No! Doesn't this look familiar? You think you could fix the mailbox, but you just can't, construction guy! I mean, I know Pixar has a penchant for the dramatic, but these abusey, assaulty, breaking point scenes are kind of starting to add up. But maybe it is not meaningless. Carl's sudden outburst causes him to take a step back and seriously question his court date. Okay, so he lost his house.
The guys from Shady Oaks will be by to pick you up in the morning.
So now he's not only lost Ellie, but the last piece of his unfulfilled promise is go. Hang on a minute, wait! Back up! Dude! You just attacked someone! Over a mailbox! You spaz! Can we go back to that? Because the first time I saw this, I thought, he's cracked. All that guilt and frustration has built up, and he's a psychopath now. I mean, what does Carl think about what he did? Yes, house, Ellie, we know. Anything else? We'll never know.
Well, retirement homes are for losers. And I did promise. Look, everyone, I'm sufficiently motivated. Yeah, I think.
I have a question. Are you sorry that you hurt someone? Possibly we should be assuming, but I'm really not feeling it. Are you just annoyed that you got in trouble and lost your house to the greedy suit guy? Did being in court not make you feel like a criminal or something? You know you weren't yourself. Why isn't any of this causing him to consider himself at all? Carl, what would Ellie think if she saw that? I thought he still felt accountable to her.
Quite a sight, huh, Ellie?
Would he not then feel ashamed of his behavior, even in the slightest? She doesn't enter his conscience at all? Pfft, why would we need character introspection when we've got plot events? Ha 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 ha! Carl goes totally out of character. Why? To question his mental health and reassess his devotion to his dead wife? Hell no! To force a chain of events! Because who cares why Carl lost his house? What everyone knows, the whole point is balloons! Wonderful, glorious balloons! Yes, Carl stayed up all night filling up hundreds of fabulous party-colored balloons to fly his house out of harm's way to South America. That's... Actually, I do have a point on that. If I could just... Yes, you're gorgeous. Just get out of my face so I can think! Ah! I mean, albeit awesome, flying your house to South America with balloons is, it's completely crazy. This is not a Carl idea. This is an Ellie idea. Did I miss a scene somewhere? Somewhere there's a what would Ellie do in my situation scene that I've... Nope. So you're asking me to believe that Carl thought this all up on his own. I mean, yeah, he's a balloon man, he's got the means, but it's get out of my face!
We're on our way, Ellie.
Yes, Carl, she would be so proud of you. Hang on, I gotta tie these stupid legs. Hitting someone, evading justice, she would just be tickled pink. Because you know what this feels like? This is using Ellie as an excuse for him to act. This is not motivating him to act. I mean, we could be using Carl's reliance on Ellie as a spiritual and psychological guide as something to which we can tether his development. But because Carl gets to be ornery and violent and apparently not care what Ellie would think of him, his emotional development is up in the air. Literally. But at least Carl will get to fulfill his promise. He'll sit his house up there on the waterfall and then what? Jump? Scrapbook? What are the emotional stakes of him doing this?
Ah!
Hi, Mr. Fredricksen.
I'm sorry I asked. Oh, good. Russell's here.
Please let me in.
No.
Well, maybe Carl will learn not to be such a crab.
Oh, all right.
That's really exciting stuff there. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, is this how you steer your house?
I suppose I should talk about Russell.
And that was left.
Russell is Dory. The end. Look, Carl! A young child bursting with a spirit for adventure, just like you were when you were a kid. Maybe he'll teach you not to be so stuck in your ways and give your life a burst of youthful energy since you tied thousands of rainbow balloons to your house and flew to South America.
Get lightning.
That's nice, kid.
Status! Emotional coordinator scrambled. Insertion of supporting character just brought up a critical error. Also, my mouse is frozen. Captain, all systems are down. Yes, I can see that.
See? Cumulonimbus.
So they fly into a storm, which conveniently knocks Carl out, because when he wakes up...
Oh, we're in South America, alright.
Not possible.
With my Wilderness Explorer GPS, we'll never be lost.
I hate you.
We'll get you down, find a bus stop.
Sure, but I don't think they have buses in Paradise Falls.
Right, yeah. So, because Carl doesn't understand time passing, wind currents, or basic English,
Oh, we're in South America, alright.
he still thinks they're in the same city as they started. Probably distract from the fact that, oh, what a shock, they're there! I never would have suspected. Pixar, you are the masters of deception.
We can float right over there. Climb up. That's it? I came all this way just to get stuck at the wrong end of this rock pile?
You poor, poor man. This is such a travesty.
I came all this way.
All this way, Carl? All this way? You jumped a continent, 2 seas, and 26 countries in a day. And you napped through most of it. Yes, can we get a little appreciation for just what a journey this has been for Carl? And you know what, asshole? Not only is the plot so thin right now, it is actively giving my mind paper cuts, but look at that view! You're there! You've succeeded! Between this and the bus thing, you guys are grasping for tension for the sake of tension where there is none. Oh, I just can't decide this side of the falls or that side of the falls. I mean, this side has the view, but that side has the water feature. I just don't know. No further plot is needed. Anyways, let's get on with the character development. Or at least what passes for character development in a Pixar film.
I've always wanted to try this. Am I supposed to dig the hole before or after?
Nah, none of my concern.
Oh. It's before!
Ah!
Actually, that was really good. This little interaction gives us a perfect snapshot of who these characters are now and also where they have room to grow.
I found the snipe!
What the hell is that? Sir, incoming plot device? Kill it! Well, that was short-lived. Let the games begin! Step 1. Insert things that will annoy the protagonist, but delight the supporting character. Bird. Dog.
Oh, yes. Bruh!
Now, there's a very subtle and nuanced interaction happening here. Possibly you could spot it.
Can we keep him, please?
No.
Could I keep the bird?
N-O.
Russell wants, Carl doesn't want. Just like, why? Carl finally has emotional stakes, but no, he can't just care about Russell's well-being. No. His emotional attachment to Russell has to be at complete odds with his attachment to his house. There must always be a right and a wrong character on screen. That is Kevin's purpose, to be the awkward wedge of conflict shoved between these two. But how will people know which character is wrong?
Come on, get it.
Why? By bringing in a character to squawk at him whenever he misbehaves.
Come on, go! N-O. I don't want you here.
Like, are we really supposed to be judging Carl for telling Russell he can't keep a wild animal?
Please!
No.
Could I keep the bird?
Keep how? Keep where? And he's a wilderness explorer!
So I'm a friend to all of nature.
Well, then you should know to leave it alone, stop feeding it people food, and that wild animals are not pets! If this is supposed to be alluding to a parent-child dynamic, then, Carl is doing it right. And Russell should know better!
Come on, Russell.
Oh, Carl's trying to outrun the plot devices. Yeah, good luck with that.
What are we doing?
Observe how character-driven events baffle and confuse the plot device.
Wait.
Scared and separated from its pack, it sends out a warning call.
Hey, we're pretty far now. Kevin's gonna miss me.
In hopes that the character comprehends the consequences of his defection.
I think that did the trick. Hi, Master.
Happily, the plot device is reunited with his pack. Did that feel good? Are we satisfied? Yep, it's hilarious. Carl's decisions and priorities mean nothing.
This step 3.
Subtle. Very subtle there, guys. We couldn't just have him watching Russell struggle, contemplating whether or not to help. No, he has to scoff dramatically at an 8-year-old. You might as well have started chucking rotten fruit at him. Boo! How many brain cells does it take to knock in a peg? Go suck a tarp!
Wait, aren't you super wilderness guy? With the GPMs and the badges?
Wait, aren't you super old clever genius guy? With the shower curtain, coffee grinder, flying balloon house?
You poured prune juice in his gas tank.
I'm elderly and infirm.
I kind of miss that, Carl.
Can I tell you a secret?
No.
Alright, here it goes.
Cause I'm getting Dory flashbacks again. Why doesn't Russell notice how mean Carl is being? Carl wouldn't be able to act that way if he had to worry about hurting anyone's feelings. And why is Carl even able to sit on his ass and scoff? Shouldn't their survival be a full-time 2-man job? It feels like the movie really needs Carl to still be this cranky guy, but given the change in his surroundings, that shouldn't be possible.
I never actually built a tent before.
Well, why didn't you ask your dad how to build a tent?
I don't think he wants to talk about this stuff.
Okay. Why didn't you ask your mom how to build a tent?
Phyllis told me I bug him too much.
You call your own mother by her first name?
Phyllis isn't my mom.
You know who is your mom? Your mom! I'm detecting irrelevance. Shut up.
Oh.
I like how they get so depressed. Oh God, all these women. Women will take over the earth and then no one will know how to build a tent.
He promised he'd come to my explorer ceremony so he can show me about tents then, right?
Yeah, what? Okay, so you guys want Carl to be a father figure.
Careful, Russell!
Whoa!
Russell! I told you no.
Can we keep him, please, please, please?
No.
He's been trying to do that all day!
Oh, that was just Carl being grouchy.
No, that's what that looks like. Sometimes parenting involves saying no. But how are we supposed to realize that's what he was doing when your stupid plot device kept squawking at him? Make up your mind! Carl was obviously falling into a father role on his own. You didn't need Kevin. You didn't need to guilt trip it to his face. You didn't need a really clumsy visual metaphor. We were already well on our way. If you just left it alone. But no. Everything about this kid is forced and contrived. We did not need the characters to sit down and tell us what one needs from the other. That's what storytelling is for.
Doug says he wants to take Kevin prisoner. We have to protect him.
Oh, yep, look at the time. Time to state our objectives, because we're such good storytellers, no one will know what they are.
Promise you won't leave him?
Yeah.
I'll just leave this here in case the plot requires you to betray me at any point.
Cross your heart?
Hey, Carl, why are you staring glossy-eyed into the distance like this is a nice memory or something? The last time you crossed your heart at something, the guilt consumed you to such an extent that you had to uproot your entire life just to pacify it. And we want to repeat that why?
Bird is calling to her babies.
Her babies.
Babies! First promises and now babies! You can even see it on his face. Babies! The ultimate justification for anything a struggling plot might need!
Kevin's just leaving. But you promised to protect her. We gotta make sure they're together.
No! We don't! In no universe do we have to do that.
But you promised to protect her.
Yeah, from Doug, who is sitting right here for some reason now totally okay with this. What part of wild animal does this kid not understand? And a 70-year-old man could not even keep up to her, never mind protect her, so just...
We gotta make sure they're together.
Shut up! Shut up, you little plot-sucking parasite, you! I take it back. You are worse than Dory. Oh my god, I owe Dory an apology. You! Seriously, why is Russell wanting Kevin so damn important? And how are we supposed to be taking what this kid wants seriously when the shit that he wants is pointless, stupid, and impossible? This all just looks like one more feeble attempt to make Carl's priorities look selfish.
Sorry, Russell. We've lost enough time already.
Oh, Carl. You disagreed with Russell.
Yeah.
Now you will have to be punished.
Because you sent her away, there's more for you.
It starts slow, with a thinly veiled guilt trip. Until finally... Unleash the plot beasts!
Master will be most pleased we have found them. Come!
Wait, we're not going with you. We're going to the falls.
You will obey the will of the plot! This is another thing that bothers me about this type of storytelling. It's all so mechanical. There's no effort to smooth over the seams and make these transitions any more natural than, sorry sir, the plot is actually that way. So where does the plot go?
A floating house? That is the darndest thing I've ever seen. Are you Charles Once? Adventures out there. It's really him.
So Carl finally gets to meet up with his childhood hero.
We're not actually going inside the spirit of adventure itself. Would you like to?
So the two of them bond a bit, and once invites them to dinner, only to reveal that the creature he's been hunting his entire life is actually Kevin, and he'll stop at nothing to capture her.
Hey, that looks like Kevin. I trained it to follow us.
But it ran off. It's gone now. These people who pass through here, they all tell pretty good stories.
Okay, well, he's crazy and he's gonna kill you.
A surveyor making a map.
You wanna say that's okay? Really, take the bird. We're fine.
An old man taking his house to Paradise Falls.
Aren't you gonna?
That's the best one yet. I can't wait to hear how it ends.
Okay, Carl, perhaps you missed the part where he's going to kill you! Say something! Oh shit, now he sees the bird on your house. He's going to think you're hiding it from him. Carl, say something!
I insist.
Carl, you're not going to be able to outrun 50 dogs with a floating house attached to you. Why? Why aren't you saying anything?
Kevin?
Because of Russell? Because you promised him? I couldn't possibly tell this guy that we don't want his bird to save our lives. No, I couldn't possibly do that because Russell would get upset. You know what? Russell doesn't always get his way. Carl, you have to be the responsible adult in this situation. Screw what you promised Russell. Tell him whatever it takes to let you leave alive. This should not be hard! Oh, you're probably gonna try and run. Yep, there they go. Ha! I mean, oh no! Kevin's hurt! Jeez. I was kind of joking about the overacting before, but that bird's really hamming it up. Oh, my foot! Oh!
Oh, no, Kevin!
I'm hurt! I'm hurt!
Can't we help her get home?
So now Carl is conflicted. Accomplish his lifelong dream of taking the house to the falls, or taking the injured bird back to herd chicks. How does that work?
Can't go in after it. Once in, there's no way out.
Even if you got her somehow back to her nest, she's no good to her chicks. She can't walk. She won't be able to provide for them. And is going to the falls even an option anymore? Are you hopelessly lost? You went down the cliff. You can't go back the way you came, and Muntz will find you either way. You told him where you were going. Plus, Doug's being tracked. Doug conveniently seems to forget this fact.
My pack is not following us. Boy, they are dumb.
And you've got the balloon house. It's not like you can hide. You guys are screwed. There's no conflict here. We're making it seem like this is an either-or conflict, and Carl just has to choose to do the right thing. No, Carl, you have a murdering maniac after you right now. You might want to take that into consideration.
All right.
Ah!
But we gotta hurry.
Okay, you know what? If you have to do that, please, for the love of God, tie off the house. I don't even care if it's a metaphor. Oh, Carl is hauling his house around. He's got his whole life on his back. Ah!
You know what, Mr. Fredricksen? The wilderness isn't quite what I expected.
Why? Because of the dogs? The crazy murdering old men with 70-year-old grudges that shouldn't be there? No, surely you mean your dwindling supplies. Like, what is that, a creek? Russell, nature has been the least of your worries. But we're gonna make it out like he's learned something about nature. Fine. You know, learning something about nature would be realizing sometimes animals get hurt and there's nothing you can do. This is what? Please tell me, what have you learned?
How so?
It's kinda wild.
Yes, the wilderness is wild. It isn't where you are for some reason, but I'm sure somewhere it is! We interrupt this rant to bring you the theme of the movie.
That might sound boring, but I think the boring stuff is the stuff I remember the most.
Oh, the boring stuff matters. Does it? Thank you, Pixar. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Look, there it is!
That's great. Just please tie off the... Yes, thank you.
Look at that bird go! Straight up, you overgrown chicken!
You must take me for a fool! Yay! Kevin's gonna make it! Are you out of your mind? This is a Pixar film! No, you idiots! Pull the net off the bird!
Get away from my bird!
How did the house get there? Am I sworn... Yep. House! Is there any way to make sense of that? Was the house trying to sneak up behind him? That would have been very helpful. Good try, House. We appreciate the initiative. Let me guess, we're gonna try for conflict one more time. Yep, the one time Carl actually leaves the house behind to help Russell. And the story's just like, that didn't happen! Carl must choose between his house and memories burning down, and... I'm sorry, what's the conflict again? Saving Kevin? Saving Kevin how? Oh no! Carl was her only chance! What were we thinking Carl could possibly have done about the situation? Fight off 50 dogs with his walker? Outrun 50 dogs with a lame bird? Muntz is all like, Carl will have to be distracted. He's too much of a threat.
Let her go! You gave away Kevin.
Wow, I hate you.
You just gave her away.
Whatever you thought you just saw, Russell is here to interpret the scene for you. Besides the meaningless knee-jerk dialogue, which should really in this instance be named to shameless knee-jerk dialogue, why is this kid so calm? Oh, you feel betrayed? Your beloved bird has just been stolen? Cry! Yell! Run away! Express emotion! But no, Russell's the supporting character in a Pixar film. Therefore, he's a plot device whose only purpose is toting the message of the film. So instead of acting like a real little boy in pain, he stands there like a saint. Oh, Carl, I'm so disappointed in you. What does this film want from its protagonist? Okay, let's say he supported Russell again and stayed with Kevin. And even if Kevin, through some miracle, managed to escape, then what? Muntz would just kill them anyway. These conflicts suck. They're non-existent. I mean, if you threaten to burn down a man's house, he's going to resist. But you have not established anything compelling enough to offset Carl's attachment to his house. This is basically like asking us to judge a fish for being afraid of sharks. Not that Pixar would ever do that. We're pretending like there was something he could do. You're blaming characters for things that were never within their power.
This is none of my concern.
We're trying so hard to pretend like there's some kind of Carl and Russell bond or relationship on the line here. How? They never relate to each other. Russell doesn't know anything about Carl, or Ellie, or their house. He doesn't understand why Carl made that decision, although conveniently still gets to judge him for it. And I still cannot for the life of me figure out why Russell even likes Carl in the first place. It's not like he's ever nice to him.
Can I tell you a secret?
No.
But no, it's like they both exist in their own emotional vacuums. Russell will never be hurt by Carl's meanness because the film needs Carl to stay mean until it hands him the message of the film, and Russell never has to empathize with Carl because the last thing we want to imply is that Carl's decisions are in any way relatable, or understandable, or well within the limits of character flaws.
I am going to Paradise Falls if it kills me.
Look at the color. This is the sky of evil, Carl. Evil.
Here. I don't want this anymore.
That may be for the best, because it wasn't teaching you anything. It wasn't teaching you how real life works. That you don't always get what you want. You. I'll just be over here sulking in my vacuum of emotions. I'm sorry I can't shut up about Russell. This is supposed to be Carl's review. Now, this next scene where Carl flips through Ellie's adventure book, it is beautiful. Everything about it is perfect. I just wish it was in a different film. Carl discovers here that Ellie died with no regrets. That their life together was adventure enough. That's so beautiful. But what does it have to do with an hour and a half of Russell whining over a rainbow turkey? I mean, what? Russell's whims represent life's hidden and unexpected adventures that Carl's been passing up?
Could I keep the bird? Her babies need her. We gotta make sure they're together.
Yeah, tell life's unexpected adventures not to be so obnoxious and contrived, and we'll talk. And there's still this underlying notion of Ellie settled! Isn't that great? I mean, I don't think I needed to know that Ellie settled. Really? I mean, we saw their life together. Did anyone look at that and think Ellie didn't live a happy, fulfilling life? I mean, people die with regrets all the time. That's what Carl needed to come to terms with and learn from it for whatever future he has left. I mean, most people aren't lucky enough to get reaffirming messages from their departed loved ones. A major aspect of dealing with the finality of death is dealing with these lingering doubts and questions that will never be answered. Carl never came to terms with that. He just hung around until he got Ellie's permission to move on. How lucky for him that she left him a note, so that Carl could have a vast, swooping change of heart in an instant. I think, for me, it would have been more satisfying to have Carl learn this himself. I mean, there were plenty of opportunities for Carl to come to terms with his life with Ellie and learn to accept a future with Russell, without those two ideas conflicting with each other. That's stupid. I mean, for instance, why would a curious 8-year-old boy like Russell never ask Carl about his house? I mean, Carl straight up addresses the house as Ellie.
Can you believe this, Ellie?
And Russell never questions it. I kept waiting for Carl to tell Russell stories about Ellie. About their house, you know? Keep Russell involved in the meat of the story. Not have him be at odds with it. That's stupid.
Russell!
I'm gonna help Kevin, even if you won't.
Ha! You think you can cheat and make up an entire film's worth of development in 3 minutes? Well, the plot device is here to test that resolve. Now, admittedly, Carl dumping his furniture to get the house off the ground is very satisfying. Thematically. Dude, you're not about to dump that old CFC fridge in a virgin untouched rainforest. You did. You just turned the land lost in time into the landfill lost in time. Don't. Sorry, we're trying to be better than months. I mean, between, poaching the wildlife, dumping hazardous waste near the water sources. So the rest is just Carl saving Russell and Kevin, really. Oh, and Russell learns how to climb the hose. He learned something! But actually, this is a great opportunity for Carl to tackle what it felt like to have his childhood hero turn out to be such a jerk. I mean, we never really... we'll never know.
Sorry about your house, Mr. Fredricksen.
You know, it's just a house.
Says the guy who just became the new owner of a luxury blimp. But I digress. So they return Kevin to her chicks, say their goodbyes, and then we cut to Russell's badge ceremony.
I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow. The Ellie badge.
Wow.
He doesn't know what that means! We never touched on the badge even once. Like, Russell could have asked about the badge. It could have made a nice story. Again, this kid knows diddly-ass squat about Ellie.
Wow.
But he's gonna stand there and pretend like he knows what it means. See, this is what I'm talking about. Russell is channeling our reaction and familiarity with the badge. Russell, the character, has never seen the badge. He knows not of the badge. It's just a clumsy metaphor that, Carl's passing on Ellie's spirit for adventure and has learned to stop clinging to symbols of his past. Surely we can do that while involving the characters of the film. But that's how this film works. Oh, hey, look, there's Russell's useless mother. Wave, everyone! It's amazing at displaying visual cues to their themes, while not bothering to have the characters actually explore their themes through shared experiences, empathy, conflict, or friendship. I mean, never mind Carl and Russell, they barely established the bond between Kevin and Russell. And that's the relationship the entire film revolves around. I mean, in the history of boy and pet stories, is anyone gonna give a crap about Russell and Kevin? No. And this review is really frustrating for me because it felt like these are all the same critiques I've already given to Finding Nemo, which they are. The character dynamics between Russell and Carl are virtually copy and paste of Marlin and Dory. Which means I have now given the same review 3 times! Which is really just a reflection of what a moron I am, really. You! What the hell? Did you change it up? How did you get your bulb back? And on that note, I'm done. I just gotta take care of something.
Always leave a foreign letter in my mailbox. You're a crazy man. Sometimes I get so angry I could kick you in the candy.